From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big early morning of Early Mornings LA with incredible details about your fourth stimulus check of 2021 as Democrat after Democrat steps forward and says they're doing an MSC. It's Kean, Sanders, Warren, Schumer, Casey, and Wyden on the Senate side. And then on the House side, AOC and Jayapal. This is all world exclusives you're only hearing on this channel as viewer after viewer picks up the phone and advocates for a stimulus check and gets the yes answer during those conversations. Then we'll be cutting to the first 645 pages of that reconciliation budget bill release. It's deliciousness. Hazard pay, money for a new bike, vehicle, car, a repair of the house, $51,000 of MSCs over 18 years, checks for seniors and checks for children. Then we cut to cluster number 2, more checks, including the checks the president wants in there, and then checks for $1,700 a week. And then finally, the last cluster, checks for also seniors and also workers. And then another world exclusive as I identify $107 billion that is now available under that third cluster for you. What happened? I'll have all the details in this big recording. And then the big shocker, as an additional $13 billion is available to come to you for rent, utilities, and food and internet. This is from third stimulus. Where did this money come from? I have all the incredible details, including a world exclusive as to which body of Congress votes first on the House or the Senate for the recon. It's all happening because the toast is toast and the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, and the deliciousness starts right now on Early Mornings LA. Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day across the globe, and I'm so excited for you to join me on a great day. There is so much happening in this massive world exclusive as AOC and Jayapal reveal their support of that MSC. Nothing unusual there, but they confirm it again, their staff, to viewers of this channel. And then Kean, Sanders, Warren, Schumer, and Casey. I have all the incredible details with Wyden as well. It's a big day with so much exciting details. You'll join me on Early Mornings LA. We'll be cutting to the first 645 pages of that reconciliation budget bill. It's deliciousness, money for hazard pay, money for workers, money for children, money for a bike. And yes, that's a bike, not a motorcycle bike. And then we got cluster number 2, more checks, including weatherizing your home. I'll tell you whether that's good or weatherizing the weather, which weather that is. Then we go to the third cluster, more checks, and these are the checks the president wants in there, and Purple Hawks are going to pounce. But then I identify a big world exclusive with another $107 billion that now can be allocated to you, because guess what? It's not going somewhere else. And then $13 billion land in cities, counties, and state from third stimulus. It's a big morning. It's a big early morning, and I'm so excited you're here. Just only if you brought the bacon would be better. And subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year. I want you part of this incredible family. This is LA, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in the morning. In America, live in the morning and then taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Overnight's Crypto. Then Countdown LA at 7 a.m. And then 9 a.m. I'm live on air with Mornings LA. Then I'm back at 10 a.m. with Mornings Crypto, and then 11 a.m. with Noontime. So subscribe. Also, like the video. Every like helps in the algorithm rankings. Let's do 3,000 likes and consider becoming a member. Below the link is under the video. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, so you learn all the big money available across the board. And thank you for the last week being our biggest week of this channel in nearly 3 months. Let's cut to the incredible details. After senator confirm their support for you and that MSC. I had told viewers to advocate. Advocacy starts here for a fourth stimulus MSC IRS check. And it started 8 weeks ago as wonderful viewer WR made that advocacy to Chris Coons, Democrat, Delaware, Joe Biden's old confidant. Staffer said, yes, he's doing it. Then Brother Joshua 3 weeks ago advocated for it I need it. My family needs it. My business needs it. My church needs it. And Senator Bernie Sanders' staff confirms, yes, monthly, $1,000 to $1,400, 3 to 6 months, but needs your support. And there came the floodgates. As it started with Donnie and viewer after viewer who started picking up the phone and advocating, because that's what this channel's about, telling people what you need. And the incredible comments with Donnie were like this. Donnie saying, I need it. My family needs it. And there's Hurricane Tina saying, calling Bernie Sanders' office and confirming that details well. Then Lori Silver. I called Bernie Sanders' office yesterday. I made a big Purple Power push, and they say they're getting it done. Then came Yaya to Senator Ron Wyden's office, advocating for stimulus check and also being told they're trying to do SS200 in there. Then came Caroline Smith in Countdown LA, our 7 a.m. show. She made a big impassioned plea. People need it. They're losing their homes. And they said, yes, they're doing it at Bernie's office. But we learned so much from Will because Will took it to another level. He didn't call one office. He called 3 offices. And Will called Bernie, Warren, and Schumer. And all 3 secretaries confirmed they're doing a forced stimulus check. I explained in my situation how I need it. And Elizabeth Warren's update was incredible. When he spoke to Elizabeth Warren's office, they said they're on board with it. And they said Liz Warren is considering $1,400 to $2,000, 6 to 12 months. Well, when I delivered that first on air, Bonnie said I almost choked on my food. I was so excited. Don't choke on the food. Here comes Lorica. She said I called Senator Casey's office, and he is really on board with it. He's on the committee for elderly, and they say they're actually in negotiations right now, the senators, for the amount of the stimulus check. Wow. Then over the weekend, I said start pushing among the House Democrats. And Paul heard me. I picked up the phone, called AOC, and advocated for it. And AOC's office said they're doing it. AOC wants it to be $1,000 a month after the first month of $2,000 and then 12 months thereafter. The staffer told Paul that AOC will be putting that in the stimulus check. And then you're hearing this for the first time on Early Mornings LA, Janice on a countdown saying, I called every congressman and Jayalapal said she's putting in the forced stimulus recon. And there you go. Coons, Sanders, Warren, Schumer, Casey, Wyden, AOC, and Jayalapal. That is the deliciousness. That is the world exclusive. And let's cut to the first 645 pages of that reconciliation budget bill, starting right now. What's important to understand is that recon bill is all for you and has nothing to do with pandemic. So you do not have to be pandemic incurred to be eligible for the money. What's in that recon, the first 645 pages? Checks for hazard pay, seniors, children, students, grants for college education, bikes, cars, commercial trucks, and more money across the board. Let's go over all of them with the first one, hazard pay. This channel is the biggest place on the planet for advocacy of hazard pay. In 2020, I made over 300 videos advocating for it. We finally got it into third stimulus, a modification of an old tax code called the Earned Income Tax Credit. They broadened the eligibility so more people qualify for it, and then they increased the number. Well, guess what? On the fourth stimulus, they make this lifetime, so more people will get this money over many more years. Every year that you work as an essential worker and you're eligible, you would get this money. The next check is a big surprise. It's up to $4,000 a year if you care for an elderly person at home. This is big, especially for a lot of care providers. Also, on the other side, up to $4,000 a year if you care for a young child. This is a big surprise that no one saw coming. It came from the head of the Ways and Means Committee. He put it in the forced stimulus recon. How about the college students? Yes, there's going to be a check for you and a check for you directly, otherwise from the federal government to the college. And then they're going to make the Pell Grant tax-free. What about $51,000 of MSCs? Oh my goodness, it's in there. If you're a parent of a young child that was just born and you're in a low-income household, you're going to be sitting on upwards of $300 a month, every year that you qualify for this, and you remain in a low-income household up to 18 years. And 18 years, $300 a month per child is $51,000 per child. My goodness. Then the big surprise is the money for bikes, cars, and trucks. The federal government will give you up to 15% to the purchase price of a new electric bike. Someone yesterday said, motorcycle? No, bike, like bike. Then up to $7,500 for the purchase price of a new electric vehicle. The federal government pick up that price. That is for personal use. $7,500 for a new electric vehicle. Then if it's a car, electric vehicle for non-personal use, they'll pay even more. And then a truck that's electric for non-personal use, they'll pay money for that as well. These are all electric, and these are the number 3 U.S. auto manufacturers. Their proposals to expand this to the others. Wow, that is the first 645 pages of the reconciliation budget bill. But that is not the only checks, because in cluster number 2, which I'm going to in a second, there's 12 checks in there as well. $1,700 a week for certain people. And then it checks for a lot of deliciousness, my goodness, including weatherizing your home. Then cluster number 3, I'm going to get to shortly thereafter. These are checks, an additional $107 billion I've identified that's now coming to you. Boy, that's a world exclusive. It's coming up in just a second. But first, let's go over what this 645 pages means to us. The first 645 pages is literally just that. The first 645 pages of what will be a bill, potentially in the thousands of pages, maybe 8,000 pages. How did they get to this point? They got to this point by negotiating Democratic House and Democratic senators. They do it by talking on the phone or in person or going to their offices or having a cup of coffee. They're not doing this on TV, not on the House floor, not on the Senate floor, not on TV, not on C-SPAN, not on TikTok. No. They're saying, what do you think about up to $4,000 caring for the elderly? I like it. Go write it up. Up to 15% for an electric bike. I like it. Go write it up. And these first 645 pages are the ones that they liked. And they said, go write it up. The reason why we have the second and third clusters are these are checks they've identified. They just haven't written them up because they're going over the terms and conditions. But let's take a break and have a big surprise, because I did not see this coming. No one saw this coming. $13 billion coming to your cities, counties, and states from the federal government for more money for rent, utility, mortgage assistance under the third stimulus. The federal government gave $47 billion to them for rent and utilities, and you may have been one of those rare places where you reached out and they said, sorry, we just ran out of the money. Well, not anymore, because every state, red states, blue states, every county will have this money this week or next week. It's a $13 billion replenishing of funds. Go get it. I'm going to go over more about this later in the video. Treasury is happy to provide the state and local governments with additional resources to support Americans in times of rental needs. There you go. Time to go over and get some more checks. Let's turn back to fourth stimulus and that cluster number 2. Cluster number 2 has some very big paying checks. First one, expansion of paid family leave and medical leave. What is family leave? That would be your spouse is pregnant. What is medical leave? That would be your son broke his leg. How much does it pay? A fortune. Under third stimulus, they were proposing to do $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. Let's split that. Let's say you make $35,000 a year. Then that would be $800 a week. Let's split that again. Let's say you make $15,000 a year. That would be upwards of $400 a week. Wow. That is a huge amount of money. Check number 2, more checks for childcare programs. Number 3, household tax credit. Number 4, checks for seniors, like expansion of the Medicare benefits, checks for dental, checks for vision, checks for hearing, and checks for reducing the Medicare age eligibility. Then checks for weatherizing your home, just in time for those purple hawks to be up above. What is weatherizing your home? Weatherizing your home is things like you're in an environment where fires are prone, or tornadoes, or hurricanes, or $12 ice cream smashing on windows. Yeah, it's one of those things. Weatherize it. Be weatherized against the $12 ice cream hitting. Then checks for Affordable Care Act. Then universal pre-kindergarten. So Mitch can go back to school. Tuition-free community college. I love that one. What are they doing that for? For people who don't understand me. LALATE, what language are you talking? It's just a strange language with a strange accent. So now you can go to that community college and take What the World is LALATE Saying 101. Totally free. And then checks for clean energy. Wow. Well, guess what's happening? The House is back in session. The Senate was already back in session, but if you're a longtime viewer of this channel, you know that means nothing for us on the recon. Why? Because the way they do the negotiations has nothing to be on the House floor, the Senate floor. They do it on the telephone. Once they agree to the provisions, then they get it done. And that is why your pushing, your advocacy for the stimulus has been so helpful. All right, let's go to cluster number 3. Cluster number 3, I have a world exclusive on this one. Oh boy, you ready? It's a $107 billion world exclusive. Here we go. Free school meals for all checks, tax break checks, cheaper prescription medication checks, checks for farming, checks for free internet, checks for clean energy, checks for workers like independent contractors, checks for Medicare expansion, checks for seniors, checks for lowering eligibility age for Medicare, checks for dental, checks for vision, and checks for hearing care. All right, what is the world exclusive? Well, always at this point, I never read one of the checks on here, which is actually at the bottom of this page. I never read on camera because it's not a check that concerns you, so I don't read it. Well, Sunday night, the Senate parliamentarian, oh yeah, that familiar face, she came out and said that check, which I never read on camera because it's not a check for you, cannot be in the recon. So immediately I went through my notes to figure out how much that recon is worth, that item is worth in the recon. It's worth $107 billion. So now an extra $107 billion, because of that ruling from the Senate parliamentarian, has been freed up, and that can be dedicated to you. Wow, incredible, great news. 2 of the checks in that third cluster are automatic, and the president wants them because they are automatic. The first one, free internet. They're going to give fortunes to your counties and cities and states so that they can run their own free internet company. All you have to do is say, I live here, and then they provide your username and password for the Wi-Fi connection. The first one the president really, really likes, and it's cheaper prescription medication. The federal government's going to slash the preferred prices with the pharmaceutical companies so you overnight see a savings in your wallet. For example, let's say you go in on a Monday, fill a prescription, $40. This becomes law on Tuesday. Then the week later, you come back to fill the prescription again. It may be $20, a savings of a $20 bill in your wallet. Wow, incredible details. What's going on next? Well, later in this video, I'm going to go over the big exciting details as the $13 billion land in your cities, counties, and states could give you the opportunity to get rent further into the future, utilities further in the future. I'm going to show you how to get that money. I'm going to show you how the nonprofits are paying big sums of money, even purchasing refrigerators and furnaces for viewers. Yes. Then we're going to cut over to fifth stimulus, which heats up in just a few days. I'm going to go back over to the exciting details of that world exclusive of these MSC IRS stimulus checks and what the Democratic senators and House members have said, when they're voting, who votes first, and the big exciting details across the board. And then I'll reflect on yesterday's meltdown of the financial markets so you're up to date about that as well. It's a big early mornings broadcast, and I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. But first, here's a little bit about the community page. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Early Mornings LALATE as, boy, viewer after viewer gets confirmation after confirmation as they advocate for that MSC. I'll go more into detail what Coons, Sanders, Warren, Schumer, Casey, and Wyden's offices tell viewers this channel. Then I'll go to Jalapal and AOC because advocacy starts here. We'll be cutting to the big surprise. As third stimulus has a lot more money, then we'll be cutting to this stimulus, which heats up, and then I'll be cutting back to the big shocker of a world exclusive as we'll see which side votes first, House or Senate. This is a big one. And I have all the incredible details, and it's a big morning, and I'm excited you're joining me. If only we had some bacon. And this is Early Mornings LA. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers a YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Coming up next is Overnight's Overnight's Crypto. Then I'm back with you with Countdown LA at 7 a.m. Mornings LA at 9. Mornings Crypto at 10, and then noontime at 11 a.m. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Also, like the video. 3,000 likes. Don't forget to like the video. It helps in the algorithm ranking. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Para, or Calcino VIP. More about that expanded newsletter coming up in a second. But no one saw this coming. An additional $13 billion. Where did it come from? It's coming for your third stimulus. Cities, counties, and states everywhere across the country will get a new infusion of cash for rent, utility, and mortgage assistance. This is red states. This is blue states. Every city, every county, every state. This is huge. Why is this big? Because the money is getting huge. When we were covering rent about a month ago on this channel, viewers were getting $20,000 for rent. Last week ended with Jen getting $40,000 approximately for rent. Boy, the numbers are going bigger and bolder than ever before. Let's look at these numbers and what the Purple Hawks, the members of this channel, have been getting. There's Elizabeth, Purple Hawk. Have you joined? Now we see the numbers going to $40,000 when only a month ago it was $20,000 with Nisi. Mark's brother-in-law got $15,000 of rent. You remember Mark? He's $51,000 Mark. Here is Mark. There he is. He's $51,000. Now he helped his brother-in-law, and his brother-in-law got $15,000 for utilities. Wow, that's gone up 300% from $5,000 a month ago. And then when we were talking about $5,000 a SNAP a month ago, Mark's brother-in-law got $21,000. Get a pen, paper, cell phone ready. I'm going to go over all this big money for you to get right now. And boy, I'm excited for it. I have 6 places to reach out to all 6. They have different eligibility and they have different pots of money. If one says no, reach out to the next. You do not have to be behind on your rent. There's 6 total different places. Number 2, listen to the keywords I say in this video. It helps get people approved. And number 3, I have a surprise for other places to get the money. All right, here are the 6 places you reach out to. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. Keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage utility assistance because of COVID. There you go. Let's go over the 6 places again. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. Now, this is huge because if you reached out to all 6 before and they said, sorry, we just ran out of money, reach out to them again and say, I heard about this $13 billion. I want to be on the waiting list. Put me first on the waiting list. Or can I call you back tomorrow when you get the money? I want to know when you get the money. This is critical because a longtime viewer of this channel, in 2020, Kevin Lee reached out to Dallas. They did not have it. And then suddenly they went live with a program. He applied within an hour. 3 days later, the program was out of money. So you need to pounce right away. Then, utility companies. I want you to reach out to all your utility bills. So if you have 5 utility companies, reach out to all of them. Third, here's the surprise. The nonprofits. The nonprofits are now paying big sums of money for the viewers of this channel again. I covered the nonprofits first on this channel in 2020 and then in 2021 in a show called Purple. But I did not know if the nonprofits were still paying for rent, utility, mortgage assistance, food, homelessness, getting to shelters, other items like personal appliances in the household. I didn't know they were paying for these monies still. Apparently they are. The day I brought back, the next day someone said, thank you, LA. I picked up the phone, called United Way. They said, no one's called for rent for a long time. I'm first on the list. I'm going to get approved. Another viewer overnight said, I got a furnace and I got a refrigerator and I got my window fixed. Wow, that was a viewer 2 days ago. Incredible details. So here are the 5 nonprofits for you. United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul. If you're a member, please become a member. I now include the nonprofits in the list of the daily newsletter that goes out. Here they are again. United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul. All right, let's turn to money for SNAP. SNAP is money for food you get from Department of Agriculture. And Mark's brother got $21,000 for his channel. Now he's sitting on top of $26,000 a year. Wow. Department of Agriculture is raising everyone's benefits up an average of 25% lifetime automatically starting in October. Now, this has caused a little bit of confusion because people had gotten a letter from that first raise up saying it's over. And those two executive orders are over. And now they think that's where they're going forward. No, you're going to get another letter saying you're now stepped up an additional 25% a lifetime, approximately 25% a lifetime starting in October. Then the money for unemployment benefits, yes. So if you got overpaid unemployment benefits from your state due to computer error, they are now refunding that money back. Average payment is about $2,000 to $5,000. Reach out to your state for that money. And the last pile of the money is a refund check back from IRS that you paid taxes on the 2020 unemployment benefits. Average payment is about $1,200 to $2,000. Margaret got a call, Michael got it. Pick up the phone and ask for it, or go to irs.gov and get and do a transcript search, and 70% of the time it will work. And there you go. If you're in the live chat and you've gotten any of these pots of money, post it right now, because when you do, you inspire people. Meantime, if you've not become a Purple Hawk, what are you doing? Become a member today. The link's under the video, because I daily deliver to you a breakdown of all the big money on a first, second, and third stimulus. You've met $80,000 Johnny. You've met $51,000 Mark. You've met $40,000 Jen from last week. You see the big sums of money that viewers are getting, whether it's Art Sullivan with 3 items or Nisi with 3 items. You deserve to get this money. And in the new modified newsletter, I now include the nonprofits and include that $13 billion coming from the federal government. But here's a personal message. I want you to get money as far as you can get it into the future. And if you got money before, get some more money. If you think that place doesn't have any more money, go to another location. I want you to get the money as far as you can in the future. And finally, if you need holiday gifts, start getting in line to get them now from places like Salvation Army. They get those gifts out in September and October, not in December. So there you go. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video with the big exciting details of that Recon MSC IRS checks starting right now. It was 8 weeks ago where I told viewers of this channel to advocate. Pick up the phone and say, I need a stimulus check. My family needs it. My community needs it. I need to tell you why I need it. And that's what WR did at the time. He picked up the phone and he advocated really strongly, telling Chris Coons' office why he needed it. Senator Chris Coons, Democrat, Delaware, Joe Biden's oldest confidant. And WR picked up and advocated very impassionedly. And the office said, yes, Senator Chris Coons will be putting a monthly stimulus check in there. There you go, world exclusive. Now, WR recently in one of the chats saw someone say, I'm going to pray for this. I'm going to pray really hard. And WR said, prayer is good, but calling is better. And he's right. 3 weeks ago, I told viewers the importance of calling when Bernie Sanders made a statement. Now, I have been showing to you over the last 2-3 months that Bernie Sanders was the guy who got the $3.5 trillion price tag. He negotiated and got that price tag. I had also told you that he's the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee. That's huge because while the 645 pages was released by the House Budget Committee, there's a Senate Budget Committee, and Bernie is the chairman of it. 3 weeks ago, Bernie Sanders told press, unlike prior D.C. budget chairman, I like to get out amongst the people when working on the recon. I said, translation, do you hear that? He's saying, I want to hear from you. I want you to advocate for what you want in that budget bill when I'm writing it up. I said, pick up the phone and advocate. Margaret did. Margaret did. Lynn Glenn did. And Brother Joshua advocated for stimulus. Let's go over what advocacy looks like for stimulus. Advocacy is saying why you need it. I need a stimulus check because of this, what's going on in my life. I need it because of my family. I got to tell you what's going on in my family. This is what's going on in my family. I need to tell you because this is what's going on in my church. My church has been really hurting. I got to tell you why the stimulus check is needed. I got to tell you about my town. I got to tell you about my community. I got to tell you about my business. I got to tell you why I need it. That's advocacy. Now, the person on the other side of the phone can't see you. They may not know your town. They may never have heard of your town, but they can certainly feel emotions. So if they hear you on the phone advocating and expressing impassionately why you need it, they're going to get off the phone and say, wow, that was moving. They really need it, and I think they should get it. On the other hand, this is not advocacy. Treating the caller on the other side like the FedEx tracking tool or the IRS tracking tool. Is there going to be one? Is there not going to be one? When, where, how, who? Is it? Isn't it? What? Ooh. No, no one wants to be talked that way. These are Democrats who are elected to office to advocate for you. And when you pick up the phone and you advocate back to them and say, I need it. This is why I need it. My family needs it. They resonate to you. It's like a match made in heaven. And that's what Brother Joshua did 3 weeks ago. Picked up the phone and advocated. Brother Joshua's a 2020 volunteer to the community page. Got people a lot of sums of money from this channel. He's a Purple Hawk and a longtime viewer. And he advocated for Bernie Sanders' office. And they said yes. Senator Bernie Sanders is doing a forced stimulus check. Monthly, $1,000 to $1,400, 3 to 6 months, but needs to hear your support. And I said, Purple Power, that is a call to action. You need to pick up the phone and advocate. Just like WR said, pick up the phone and advocate. Prayer is good, but calling is better. And it started the incredible details with Donnie. Donnie picked up the phone and advocated, saying, I need it. This is why I need it. I got to tell you why I need it. And it followed with other people like Hurricane Tina. But here's Donnie's comment. I called and I said why I need it. My city needs it. I need it to progress for my water, for everything. I need it. I told Bernie Sanders' secretary that. And she said they're doing a forced stimulus check. She said, okay, they're doing a forced stimulus check. That is what advocacy gets you. The impassioned statement works. Then Hurricane Tina picked up the phone and advocated strongly to Bernie's office as well. They said they're doing it. Then came Lori Silver. I called Bernie Sanders' office yesterday. I put a good Purple Power push. Vote for the people. Getting help, and according to them, we're getting the help we need. And Purple Power Yaya called up Ron Wyden's office, advocated for her. Also SS200, they said they're doing it. Carolyn Smith, incredible advocacy, revealed this on Countdown's Morning Ally. I called up Bernie Sanders' office. I talked to the secretary. I told her we needed this. We need to help out here. People are losing their homes. They're losing what they got. We need help here. She said she agrees, and Bernie's putting a stimulus check in there. And then Will took it to another level. Will didn't call one office and call it a day. Nope, he called 3 offices. I spent the day calling yesterday around. I called Senator Bernie Sanders' office. I called Elizabeth Warren's office. I called Chuck Schumer's office. And all 3 of the secretaries confirmed there's a forced stimulus check. I explained my situation and how a forced stimulus check would make a huge impact. And I said, I was told, yes, it's happening. He's advocating. He's saying why I need it, what's important here. Then he called Elizabeth Warren's office, and they asked him what kind of check he thinks would be sufficient. I explained I like the American petition. That's $2,000 a month. Then they said they're on board with that at Liz Warren's office. And then Senator Warren's office, they confirmed to him they're considering $1,400 to $2,000, 6 to 12 months. There you go. That is what advocacy gets for you. As Bonnie said in the live chat when she heard that, she said, I almost choked on my food out of celebration. Lorica, wonderful longtime viewer of this channel, she picked up the phone, called Bob Casey's office. She called her senator. And his staff were actually revealed they're actually now in negotiations about the stimulus check. Wow. That was going into about a few hours ago, yesterday, the day before. But I told you still got to advocate with the House Democrats. I said pick up the phone and advocate with Omar, with Jayalapal, with AOC. And then you started to do it. The incredible comment came in from Paul, who said the following about his conversation with AOC's office. Today, I called Representative AOC and I spoke to her secretary and was told that, according to her, AOC wants to add a monthly stimulus check in the $3.5 trillion bill. AOC wants them to be $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter for 12 months. Her secretary confirmed to me that AOC will put in the bill, take care. And then Janice advocated as well, Jayalapal's office. Janice says, I called every congressperson I could call. And I called Jayalapal's office, and they did say, yes, they're doing a 4th stimulus check in there. There you go, Purple Power. Coons to WR. Sanders to Brother Joshua. Warren and Schumer to Will. Casey to Lorica. Wyden to Yaya. AOC to James, and Jayalapal to Janice. Now, another world exclusive you're only seeing on this channel, which is the following. The voting process. It was no less than a few months ago where I told viewers of this channel, I believe that the House subcommittees are going to be writing the actual bill, even though the Senate and House Democrats negotiate the provisions. Well, we now know my reporting was correct on that again. The 645 pages release are written by the House Democrats. They're going to write the whole House bill. But which side votes first? I've been reporting for several months. I'm going to report it now today as well, that I believe the House is voting first. And there's new indications that my reporting is correct. This is huge. For many reasons, it helps you. Two clear reasons are the following. Number one, it helps you for the House to vote first, because if Jayalapa and AOC take care of everything, then there's nothing the senators have to worry about because the House took care of it. Remember, the House likes to spend a lot of money. Let's go over then to the Senate. It's very, very helpful to have the Senate vote last. A 2-day vote-a-rama in which the senators get whatever the House has in there and modifies it. Warren, Wyden, Sanders, Schumer, Casey, they're going last if under this scenario. And this is huge because during that 2-day vote-a-rama, they have the opportunity to get everything correct. Now, Senate Democrats would never take out anything the House Democrats put in there, but they could certainly increase the number or add something else in there. Wow. Let's turn over to fifth stimulus for just a brief blink of an eye. Fifth stimulus starts in September, then finishes for a vote later this year, about November, December, and the benefits could start as early as December. First, they raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad Benefits, SSA, or multiple beneficiaries. Then they apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark will be inflation. It may be as high as 5% in December. That means first they'll raise your benefits up, and if inflation's 5%, you'll go up another 5%, not just next year, but a lifetime. Oh my goodness. Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. They're going to move the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. They're going to remove the asset cap that says you can have more than $3,000 on hand. It's going to go away. And they're going to remove the marriage penalty, dating back to God knows how old that one is, that prevents you from getting married and staying on benefits. Now love is going to win, and you'll be able to do a pair dance at your own wedding like Rob and Sandy. There you go. Will there be a fifth stimulus check in the fifth stimulus recon? There will be. Finally, if you haven't signed up to become a Purple Hawk, what are you doing? The new newsletters feature also the nonprofits, also features the $13 billion cash infusion. It's important as a Purple Hawk that you get as much money as a member, get as much money as you can as far into the future. If you got this sum of money before, get more of it because it's there. And boy, let's go over where everything is with a brief recap, and then I'll go over the financial meltdown of the markets yesterday. Well, we got third, we got fifth, and we got fourth stimulus. Third stimulus already law. Additional cash infusion coming from the federal government to your cities, counties, and states everywhere. So get first in line. Call them up, get on waiting list, get first in line because that money will be there, but it won't be there forever. Number two, the nonprofits are now paying money as well. So reach out to them as well. Very unusual items sometimes that the federal government may not have total different eligibility. Fifth stimulus on the other side, getting to a vote by about November, and then raise your benefits a lifetime. And then fourth stimulus, the meat and potato, the first 645 pages, lots of checks across the board. Cluster number 2, cluster number 3, there may be 30 clusters. These are just the clusters I have heard so far. And as they get it done, they write it up, and then they call for a vote. I'm reporting the House will vote first. Meantime, the push, you need to continue to push for those MSCs, IRS stimulus checks in there. Lastly, what happened yesterday with the financial meltdown of the markets? It was a series of issues that I cover on Overnight's Crypto, which is currently playing on this channel. A series of financial elements that I actually saw coming that I told you may happen. Number one, the month of September is always a very weak month for stocks. They're traditionally down. So we went into the week knowing we were going to be down. Number two, we did not have a lot of strong stuff coming into the week. So crypto was weak the week before, the stocks were weak, and in fact, a lot of corporate earnings were not particularly that robust last week. So we didn't have a lot of great news to say, if I get bad news, then I already had some great news. Number three, there's concerns about the debt ceiling limit deadline. And there's concerns about the Federal Reserve testifying this week. And finally, one of the biggest ones, I think, perhaps, was a massive real estate magnet out of China. Perhaps the biggest one we knew about several weeks ago was on the brink of default. I recorded that on Overnight's Crypto. And that default has now caused bigger concerns for the U.S. markets because there's a lot of companies that will never perhaps get their money repaid. And some of those companies may be U.S. based as well. Finally, supply chain. Supply chain remains a major issue across the country, and that is because products are not getting out of the ports. They're stuck in the ports. They're stuck in shipment. This could be a big issue for Q4, the final quarter of this year for corporate earnings, if companies don't have products in the stores. If they don't have the products in the stores, then the concern is how do they make money in one of the most important quarters of the year? A lot of details, and I don't think the issues that caused the financial markets to melt down yesterday are yet solved or apparent. So if you do see a pop-up today, don't think it's long-lived, because I don't think we see clarity to the questions I just addressed. I have more about that in Overnight's Crypto currently playing on this channel, so watch that show. This video will automatically take you there. And then I'm back with you at 7 a.m. with Countdowns LA, 9 a.m. with Mornings LA Live, Mornings Crypto live at 10, and noontime live at 11. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. Recognize what you're part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Toast is toast and butter is butter, and I'm here, you're here, and thank you for being with me on Early Mornings LA.